Hi and welcome to Connemara Shooter. You've probably noticed on some of the videos I've done before that I've been having trouble with this Ruger 1022. I don't think the grouping is great, so before I throw it out the window, I'm going to try a few things. Today I'm going to be bedding the stock with the barrel and the mechanism, and hopefully with the tighter fit it's going to help make the groupings better, because I think it should be able to shoot a lot better anyway. So we're going to take this apart and we're going to show you what we're at, and we're going to show you how to bed it. To bed this stock, the only places you're given the option to do that, because there is no wood or no channels or things, is back here. So I'll be bedding back here now. There seems to be a large cavity here around this part. Because what it's made of, it's a resin plastic stock. Like I said, there is nowhere else to really put bedding in it, except for the scope, which I'm going to show you now in a minute, which is going to help. So I'm going to be basically working around here with the bedding. Just every little bit helps, like so. As you can see, probably there is nowhere else to bed there because there's fresh air, and you can't really go. There's nothing to grind down without basically weakening it. So I'm going to bed around here. I'm going to show you now the scope mount. This is it here. This goes on top. Now, I'm looking at this here, and I'm going to fill all of this and make this as tight as possible, bedded to the top of the scope, to the top, sorry, of here, where it's screwed in, to the top. And, is that right, just, now, you can probably see that there. When it sits into it, I don't know, can you see that? Right here, there's a gigantic cavity as well, so we'll be taking care of that too. It's just it's where this tapers off here. So, like I said, I'll be bedding this to it. So I'm going to give this a quick clean. I want to see how we're getting on then. When I say quick clean, I mean thorough clean, by the way. You obviously want your surfaces clean, because if there's an oily residue, you're going to have issues with your bedding agent not sticking. Now I'm going to use my Dremel tool. This is an extension, and I'm just going to cut around here a bit, just to give us a bit more space. So basically the bedding compound will have somewhere to go, and not making it too thin that it'll crack, like. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see there, but I've gone in quite a good bit there now. And I'm going to bed that bit, and hopefully that will help. And we're going to work on this for the sculpt too. I think this is a major bit of the problem, the sculpt mount. Now I'm going to give this a bit of a roughing up too. It's just so it'll grip more. If there's any residue left on it, the scrapes will take it off of there. So I've roughened this up, so hopefully everything will stick to where it should do. And these cavities are just going to help us no end. Okay, so that's everything pretty much roughed up where I need it to be roughed up. Now our next job is to wipe, but now with all our surfaces roughened up, and I cut in here to allow extra, roughened up that, roughened up that. I'm going to tape everything up that needs to be taped up with Scotch tape. Voila. And that should be it, yep. So Scotch tape now. Now this is everything taped up. I'll put a few bits of tape down here just to make a barrier, so it'll hopefully level up against that and make a nice edge. You're going to have to cover all the edges here, like so. If you can see that. Into here where the exit port is for the brass. And here where the serial number is. That's that bit. Now as for the main part of the stock, if you can see that, I've taped over this edge here, and along this edge here, these edges, and inside I taped along here and down here, and also, I hope you can see this, this edge around here. Do that a few times now, just hopefully the camera will pick it up. So all we have here then is, this is the area I want to fill up. And basically that's all you can do, because there is nowhere else to fill on the bottom part. So we're going to mix up our compound now, our bedding compound, and we're going to get underway with the job itself. Now, as for this part of the gun, I'm going to use a coat of Vaseline on it, and that's going to hopefully stop the compound from doing anything I don't want it to do. And there you have it. Okay, so with our bedding mixture mixed, I've no preference on this. You'll find bedding kits on eBay or wherever, and it's up to yourself which one you choose. So we're gonna add this to this now, just at the back. Now try not to get it past the tape that you put it in the thing. I'm gonna stick it here in the back. Here. Hope you can see that. Now, as you can imagine, this can turn into quite a dirty job. I'm just going to put this down here into it, covered in Vaseline, so it shouldn't stick to it. Now I'm going to put the bolt in it now, the main bolt here, just to hold everything together. And we're going to start. Now that's holding everything together tightly. Now we're going to see, can we get the rest of the compound down here where we want it. Now remember, our Vaseline is there, so it should be hunky-dory. Just feed that down there. So the problem with some hardness, they do tend to go off very fast. I might need to mix up some more. That's fine, we'll worry about that in a second. Just see how we're getting on. Building that up there, you see. Now I'm going to grind down any excess anyway. There's no panic on this. Now that's that bit done. Okay, this is what I've done with the stock. You can see here, I used Scotch tape. I taped off most of the handle and everything. You just don't want this getting on the handle because it'll dirty it. Like, there's a lot of cleaning afterwards. You can get it off, but like I said, it's a lot of hassle. Now, as you can see, I taped up the sides here and here, and I don't know, can you see that? Around the trigger here, and all around here, because you'll be grabbing it. Now, like I said, you drop your trigger assembly in here. Right. Just put your safety across halfway. There, see, just halfway across because it won't fit in otherwise. There's dirt all over this now, so don't panic about it. It's, you know, I'll be cleaning this later. So you just slide that in there. Sorry. Like so. Sorry now, there you go. Now, when you've that done, you mix up your bedding compound and you fill this bit here. Now this is already done. You fill this up here. Try to keep this clean. You can tape this off here. I should have done that and I wouldn't have as much cleaning. So tape this off with Scotch tape. Okay. And you fill this here. There's a big gap back here. You'll know it when you put the thing in. You can put this screw in here. Put the screw in here to hold it down. And so what you do then is you put your bedding compound across here, fill that gap, and you tie it off with your bungee cord. After you put the bolt in it, you strap this around as tight as you can. Oh, sorry. Now I'm just hooking this into where the magazine goes, so it can't go anywhere. So I don't want to stay there too. So anyway, wrap that around that tight as you can and hook it on there whichever way, and that will hold that in there. Like I said, that's what I done last night, and I had the main screw in here. That's gone off now, it's hard, and it's nicely fitting into the back there. Now I'm just going to finish that off so it's smoother. As I said, this has to be a two-stage job now, and I'll explain that as I go along, how it will work. Now I'm just going to do some finishing here, because I want that nice and smooth across there. Now it doesn't have to be flat, it can be rounded, just as long as there's a smooth edge, because I'll be taping that over, and I'll explain why I'm doing that after a while. Now, what you can see there is I put a nice little curve there on it. Could be better, but I don't want to take too much off here, because I don't want this to break. So you have kind of a curve there. Now, just wipe that off. Now there you can see it. I'm going to tape this across here now. Now the idea of that is I'm going to be bedding, where is it? This on top, like that. Now I bedded this before and I had to remove everything inside because it went wrong. And I had to think of a different way of doing this. So I had a bit of cleaning last night. But it's fine, it's fine. I'll be putting bedding compound in this anyway, so. So I'll be fitting that on there like that, right? Now, the concept is, I'm just going to put the tape across here and explain a little better. Where is it? One is enough. I don't want to make it too thick. I actually want, what I want is I want the two pieces to come apart. They're two separate pieces. So when I put the bedding in this and I fit it in here, I'll be able to take it apart, and this will come off with the bedding in here, and this bedding will be separate. I realised this last night after I had my first attempt, so hopefully this will work out better now. And at least you won't yourselves, if you are planning to do this, and like I said, don't do it unless you're really, really sure what you're doing, because it can go very wrong. This should work out better for you, this method. So what I plan to do here now, I've taped this off, and I'm going to be filling this with filler. I had to clean this out last night because I had an initial attempt that didn't work out too well, but I had to come up with a different alternative method, and this is it. So I'll be filling this with better, and basically we'll be sticking it on here like so, and when it's set, basically the two parts will come apart, and the bedding will be in here and here, and you'll have two pieces, but they'll be fitting very snugly into each other. Okay? Make sure you have all these edges taped off here, and around here, just stop overflow. All this is taped. I know there's compound on it, but that's from last night, but it's still taped. Okay, so tape it all. Okay, we're going to stick this back in here. Now once again, don't worry about the gun. That's going to be all cleaned and finished again, and it'll look brand new. So I'm going to put the main screw back in here, if I can find it. Now that's your gun in place. Now about the mixing. Don't wait around when you're mixing. Some of this stuff can go off very quickly. The bedding compounds. So depending on what you're using. Like I said, I don't have any preference, so whatever you want to use yourself. Keeping in mind that a Ruger 1022 doesn't have that much kick, so you know there's probably very expensive compounds out there, but like I said, it's up to yourself. Now actually, what I will say just beforehand is I'm going to tape actually across here before I bed it. Now I can hear you all saying, why is he doing that? It's not going to bed right. Now I'll explain how I'm going to fix that problem afterwards. Now, I haven't ever seen this particular stock ever bedded, so this is all new territory for me and most people, I'd say. So that's nicely taped off there. Nothing. Oh, I see again. Oh, no over spills there, hopefully. Okay. Now, it's up to you whether you cover these holes. I'm not going to cover them. I'm just going to get the Dremel tool and drill down through them when I'm finished. The holes here, because this will be covered. And that'll give me a tighter fit instead of taping them up, and that's 2 layers of tape then. Okay, so I'm going to mix up the compound. Now mix your compound as well as possible. Right, that's it. Now, get it in there as fast as you can, because it is unforgiving, this stuff, when it goes off. Some of it goes off very fast. And then you have to start over again, which nobody wants. I'll try to get a lock down the back here, because that's where you want to fill it. I'm just to put some there too. Well, you're probably going to get some spillover from this, and to be honest, you probably want it that way. Now, right there, yeah, down we go. You can see it's squeezing out there. Oh, some of the birds want to get away from me. Now you see why everything has to be taped. Now, I'm just going to wipe my hands. Now I'm going to bed some screws down in here quickly before everything goes off. Now I'm going to let that set a while after putting it back together. Okay, so let's look to see how this turned out for us. Okay, that just pulled off there nicely. I've just a bit of tidying to do there. As you can see, it didn't stick to it. Bit of tidying here and there. You're going to get that with this stuff because it does go everywhere. I should have taped up a bit more there, but it just gets everywhere. Bedding compound. It's like sand at the beach. Now, as you can see there, the tape done its job, and that's your, see the nice curve up there. Now there you go. It's pretty okay. Needs a good wash. But that's the bottom part. Done. Let's see what the top part looks like when I take off the tape. Oh. There you see it. Oh, there you have it. So far, I'm just going to see how this all fits together. I probably, there, a little bit to take off. I have a little bit to take off at the sides. Oh, off we go. Okay, I'm going to drill the holes now down here, and I'm going to use a tiny drill bit to start with. Okay, I'll just use a small drill bit to start with because I don't want to make a mess of it, and just widen out then. Okay, Wish. Now, you want to drill the holes down through where they were, that's fine. But just keep in mind that they only want to be the width of that, the hole you're drilling. And up here, because if you go down with too big a drill bit, that's just going to slide through and it's not going to grip anything and you've wasted your time. So you have to be careful with this now. So drill your holes. Now, as I said, do not over drill from this side because you need a lip for the thing to catch. For the bolt to catch. So really you're just opening up what was there. That's that one, that's that one, that one's fine, and that one's fine. Oh, so we'll be able to bolt everything together. These are the very important ones now because this is really what pulls the top rail in to the top of the gun mechanism. So I'm just going to clean off this screw. Now I'm going to give this gun a really good clean now and just get a alcohol rubs to get this residue off. But for now I'm just going to show you what we finished up with. So as I said before, see that there, I bedded this part first. So you start it off now. So that was the first bedding, and as you can see, this was the first bedding, and this is to stop it moving back and forward, just to give it that extra bit of tightening there. So we're going to stick on your main screw here for now. As I said again, I do apologise for the dust. It's unavoidable. I will be cleaning this gun top to bottom when I'm finished. And hopefully I'll show you it then. All clean. For now I'm just going to show you the gun being put back together. Quick explanation. Right, so that's your main bolt on there. Fine, she can't go back. She's bedded on the bottom. Now, this is the comes in here. These bolts go in here. And they feel like it. Remember what I said now about these being polymer, the stock, so don't go crazy. Now, okay, so here's the stock all bolted back together. As I said, sorry for the dust, I have to do a major clean. I'm going to buff this up with probably the stuff you see for dashboards and things in a car. It'll come up perfect. It's plastic, it's resin anyway, like polymer. Now, I have 4 bolts here, or 6, sorry. So these 4 are into the mechanism, and these are into the stock. There's a gap here, as you can see. I was going to bring that down so it's level, but the stock never actually closed perfectly anyway. My thinking behind this is, at the moment I know it's perfectly sat into this. The bedding and this are absolutely uniformed. And if I bring these two surfaces together, there's always the chance that these will be touching, but the mechanism and the bedding will have a gap in them. So I'm going to leave that gap there. Anyone doing this themselves, it's up to them. There's a gap there too. Now, what I have found since I've done this is, I've just tested it there now before I turn on the camera. I used to get a little flex in the gun if down here, if I'd force it. That's gone. I can feel it there now, and everything is so much really tight. Like, I can't see how this isn't gonna improve the accuracy of this gun. So okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I have to tidy up, major clean up, and I'll do a quick follow-up to this now before the video is finished, just to show you everything clean. Okay, so here we have the stock, finished, bedded. It's a lot tighter. I'm going to do a video follow-up to this on accuracy. It has improved accuracy. It's just that this video is way too long, and we'll just break them up into 2 videos. What did I find out while I was doing this? It was a lot of work, actually, this one, because it wasn't done before, and I had nothing to reference off or anything. There was trial and error in this job. I had to come up with the idea, the notion then of doing it in 2 parts. There's 2 beddings, one behind here, to stop the gun with doing this motion, the mechanism, and then the scope mount up here to stop the scope moving or vibrating. In this Archangel stock, there is actually quite a lot of room knocking around in it when you start looking. Not underneath it, there's nothing there, but at the back and at the top, every little tolerance makes a difference. So the tighter you make things, the tighter your groups are going to be, you know. That's about it. Okay, if you like the video, please press like. A lot of work in this one. And if you like the channel, please subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, and hopefully we'll be along with more videos in the future. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.